Wendy and I'm with Debbie Andrea, and Debbie is our shelter manager at Kitten Crazy. We're a half a mile down the road, so if you want to adopt anybody that you see today, Debbie's going to head on down to the shelter. It's called Kitten Crazy. We also have a spay-neuter clinic for cats and dogs called Quick Fix. We're down the road. Come and see us anytime. And thank you, Debbie. Debbie's my co-host for Cat Chat. We tape every other week. Thank you, Andy, as always. This is Andy, if you've never met him. We have a new guy behind the camera, Jason, from High School Project. And where's my bud?
Right behind you.
Oh, hi. The station manager. Marketing. Marketing. So we have everybody from Armstrong here today, pretty much. So thank you. We're going to have a question and answer time. So if you have a cat question, hang on to it. We're going to get to you today so we can answer any questions that you may have. So today we have Norbert.
Norbert.
And Norbert was a kitten that came in. He's about 5 months old. This is called an orange tabby. And for those of you, how many here actually have seen our show before? So just a few. A lot of you have not. So I'm going to just go all the way back and do my thing, which is everybody wants to hear about colors. Colors of cats. Not necessarily anything else, but what color is that cat? Or we start to get real fascinated with what color it is. This is an orange tabby. Tabbies is a color, and his breed is domestic short hair. So he has all these short hairs everywhere. So there's no long hair anywhere, so he's domestic short hair. If some of his hair is long and some of it's short, that's a domestic medium-haired cat. And if all their hair is long, potentially it's a domestic long-haired cat unless it's a pure breed. But right now this is an orange tabby, but there are 4 patterns to the tabby coat. There are striped, and it's whatever's on the side of the cats, on their sides. It can either be striped, spotted. The circular pattern is called the classic pattern, or it can be ticking, where each color hair starts out a different color and can be up to 20 colors in one hair. It can go from dark to all the way to white and back to black, actually. And so that's called ticking. And I always say that that's God's first color. It is a camouflage color. They can hide in just about anything with a good pattern of ticking. But he has a striping on his side, so he is an orange striped tabby. He's about 5 months old, and he came into the clinic to get neutered
with his brother.
By a client.
With his brother, who is a classic tabby.
He is a classic tabby. He has a big bullseye on his side. Those are called classic tabbies. The other name for the striped tabby is a mackerel tabby. So if you're a fisher person, there's a lot of men here. If you've ever gone mackerel fishing, mackerel fish are completely striped. So if you can remember, he's actually a mackerel tabby. But he came in to be neutered, and a lot of times when I take a look at the cats, or my staff at Quick Fix takes a look at the cats and says, this cat is too nice to go back out and be a feral cat. Feral being a wild cat. Don't touch any cat outside, kids, that you don't know, because you could get very hurt. They can be totally wild, like a raccoon, and that's considered feral. But I walked over to the cage and I saw him, and my staff said, this is not a feral cat. Should he really live his life outside with nobody to love? And of course we said, no way. So we kept him and his brother, and of course you can see he's not a feral cat. He's a sweetie pie. He's a little nervous. He is shaking a little bit, but I'm holding him in a way that gives him full support underneath him. I often hold my kitties like this. And this is what I call my leopard in a tree hold. So you see leopards, kids, up in the trees, right? And they put one leg on each side of the branch and they fall asleep. And if I do this, then it will calm him down, because there's a semi-paralyzing nerve right between the shoulder blades right here. And pretty soon he'll just relax and he'll fall asleep. And you can do this with your cats at home too. Just pet right here or on their face and they will relax. This is probably one of the most stressful situations that he can be in. It's a big crowd and it's loud, but he's not moving right now, but if I stop, he will. But Norbert is up for adoption. And do you want to talk about the adoption fees?
This one here,
Get your microphone up.
Oh yeah, any kitten that is under 4 months old is $120. They're fully vetted. They've been fixed, they've been tested, they've had their vaccines, dewormed, flea treated. This little boy here, he's 95, 4 months to a year, and anyone over a year is 75.
Yeah.
And I always say, please give the older cats a chance because they are awesome cats.
Yeah. How many do we have in house right now?
We have about 60 right now. We have a room full of 11 kittens, young kittens like his age. But where are we getting kittens?
Yeah.
But
And people don't always realize that kitten season is seasonal. There are not kittens all year round necessarily. This one and one that we have in here, this is called a tortoiseshell. And our little tortie girl is a domestic short hair. She has short hair all over the place. And these are my husband's favorite, even though he's a dog person. These are his favorite. He calls them all caramel faces. And they usually have caramel and black. And they just lack the white to consider them a calico. So she is a true tortoiseshell, looks like a tortoiseshell. And she is a little angel girl.
she's a sweetheart.
We took, how many in? We took 7 in from a household that just had...
No, I think it was 8.
Was eight.
Yeah.
And they were just trying to help their community in Ashland, and they were over their capacity and ability. So they called us, and we took in 8 of their cats. The one gal's trying to help. Isn't she cute? She was very well raised. She was handled a lot. She was very well loved, but the capacity to care for them properly was not there. So we took them in and fully vetted them. She has a sister. Do you want to get her out, Deb?
Sure.
And I'll try to 2-arm them. I'll do 2 arms. Her name is Shelby, like tortoiseshell, Shelby. And this one is Penny. Isn't she cute? And they make a beautiful little girl pair. We tell everybody, please consider adopting in pairs if you don't already have a cat, because they are, especially siblings, tend to, and I'll say tend to, but we haven't really ever seen siblings truly turn on each other. They use each other for comfort when you're not home. They're playmates to each other. Cats like to see things move and pounce them. So if they don't have a playmate and you're walking by, guess what? You become the wildebeest and they're the stalking lion. And then they learn to play with your feet and jump on your legs. Have another playmate for them. And they're so gorgeous. And I actually have a lady that was just here earlier. She said she might want both of them. And I think that's terrific to take them both home. These are $120 because a lot of times when we get cats in, they never come in perfectly healthy, ever, like ever.
No.
I mean, they have some issue or other. Either they have worms or an upper respiratory, they have a kitty cold essentially, and we have to give them antibiotics, keep them in quarantine. Mothers with babies, we hand raise those babies for weeks and weeks, even months. And so $120 is nothing when you consider we've spayed or neutered, vaccinated, worm, flea treated, all of those things. And they're going to go home as healthy as our organization can get them. And knowingly, anything that they have, we treat. But they're about 3.5 months old, maybe 4 months old. They're just little sweethearts. So if that lady doesn't come back and adopt them, they're up for adoption.
They have a sister too that is a Torby.
A Torby. Okay, so this is a calico. Any cat that has this pattern or this pattern is almost always going to be a female. So if you see these guys on the street, they're females. And if they're running free, you want to get them, trap them, and get them in and get them spayed because they're going to reproduce a lot. The statistic is that female cats and their female offspring over the course of one female cat's life and her female offspring in 7 years can produce up to 400,000 cats. So spaying one cat is cutting down a potential 400,000 other cats from breeding and then their offspring and offspring. So that's why we opened the spay-neuter clinic.
Right, and how many times can they breed in a year?
They can have, in 2 months, these girls, aren't they adorable? In 2 months, these girls will go into heat and have their first litter. They were born at the time of year where they can actually have 3 litters this year and be still right around a year and a half old. So in the next 6 months, you'll see these guys pregnant nonstop, nursing babies nonstop. They haven't even come to their own maturity as far as their growth goes, and so it's very difficult for them. You should spay and neuter. A lot of vets will tell you to wait until they're 6 months old. You can already have a pregnant kitten at 6 months old. We have done pediatric spays and neuters for almost 8 years now. It is fantastic. All of our kittens are spayed at 2 months old. We do ask the public-owned cats to wait until they're 3 months old. It just gives them a little bit more weight, but in a rescue situation, we need to make sure they get sent home spayed and neutered. So you can spay them as early as 3 months old. They literally go home playing that same day. They go home playing, eating, and running around. So it is the best time to do it. If you wait and you have an obese female that's had kittens, it's very difficult for them to go through that same surgery that they could have breezed through at 3 months old. So just saying. Okay, so we have this little girl. Oh, I gotta go this way. This is Penny, and this is Shelby. This is my Tina, and I hand raised Tina. This is this is a kitten that I call one of my best works. Okay, hi Tina. This kitten, you can do anything to this kitten and she does not care. I say that this kitten should be in the possession of a little girl that's gonna rock her to sleep at night and carry her around and put her in a little baby basket and just play with her all day, because this kitten loves it. She truly loves people. And so you can put her down. She has no intention of running away. I got her, she was 3 days old. Do you want to tell the story, Debbie?
Well, what it was is, there's a longer story. So we actually had a mom with 4 babies that were probably a week old, the babies. Mom was infested with fleas and she was not taking care of the babies. Wendy here decided to take the mom and babies, and she had to feed those babies by herself every 2 hours, hand feed them. So one day at Quick Fix, this gentleman said he found 3 kittens that was on his truck, transported them, correct?
He accidentally drove very far, stopped, and heard kittens crying in his truck somewhere, and found 3 3-day-old kittens, and he pulled them out of his truck, called his mom, and his mom said, "You have to take those to Kitten Crazy. They'll help you." So he brought him to Kitten Crazy, this big trucker dude in this little box, and my sister at the time worked there, and she came walking up to me, and I said, "No, no, no, no." And I looked at him and I said, "Give him to me, give him to me."
All right, so there was 3. Unfortunately, 1 didn't make it, but 2 did. This is Tina, and her brother was
Ike and Tina. It
They
was
were
Ike and
so
Tina.
cute.
Yeah.
So Wendy took care of the mom and the 6 babies until mom was able to take care of them. The whole bunch was sweet. The mom was sweet.
Glenda.
Glenda was an awesome, beautiful, medium hair cat.
But she took these 2 kittens like that. So if you have barn cats and they have kittens, and somebody orphans kittens, or if you find out that they have orphaned kittens, if a mom is nursing her own kittens, it is rare, if ever, that we see them reject someone else's kittens. It's sometimes these moms will take a second bout, so they'll raise their kittens, and we've had them in our possession so long that we've gotten those moms so healthy that their milk is just hanging from them like a cow. You know, you're like, ooh, hate to waste that, because there's always orphan kittens. So we'll ask of a mom to take another set, and it's sometimes touch and go if they'll take a set or not. Glenda took anything you gave her anytime. She was the most wonderful mom. And I always say they're like people, right? Like some people love to raise kids and love their kids, and some moms are like 18, you're out. And so this is how the cats are. Some of these mama cats are like, you're 6 weeks, get out. And they wean them early and they want to go, and then they want to go breed again. They want to have another litter or not, I don't know. But some of these cats will just nurse and nurse and nurse. And Glenda was one of those cats. But this little kitten was born the perfect cat. I didn't do anything. This little kitten just has the personality, just like you and I. God puts a personality in us. We are born with a personality that we can develop or we can ruin. But this little kitten was born with such a great little personality. She's just loving this. She would be a fantastic therapy cat. You would be able to take this cat to a nursing home, and she would acclimate in anywhere she goes, because she loves. She was actually adopted out. You want to talk about that? And brought back.
She was adopted out, brought back because the lady was allergic to her. So she was in my office for a while, and she just played, and she got along with the other ones.
Come on up here.
And then we put her in the kitten room, and she's having a blast. She plays all the time. She plays the most out of the group.
Come on up here. In case she wants to get down, just hold her like that. Okay?
So,
you want to pet her while you're doing that?
What kind of
wonderful
hair
little kitty
is she? I mean, look at
she's short hair,
little, but it's a little
she's
longer.
short hair, but she's just a black kitten with white paws. She would be called a tuxedo if all 4 of her paws were white, because basically that would be her black jacket and pants and her white patent leather shoes and her little white shirt, but she actually just has a little bit of white right there. You want to put your arm out like that and see if she'll sit on your leopard tree, and then you're going to go like this, and you're going to bring your arm in just like that, and you're going to pet her, okay? Does anybody have any questions for us? When I ask any question, Debbie will come out with a microphone. Go ahead. Here we go. We have a question.
So we have one of your kittens, which I have pictures to show you. We had him for a year and a half. His name is Leo.
Okay.
We got him to have company for our 6-year-old female. They fight twice a day.
Okay.
We have bewitching hour at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m.
Okay.
They've been together for a year and a half. Any advice?
Okay, so when do you feed your cats?
Morning and evening.
Ta-da! So a lot of times the alpha in the group, so you never have 2 alphas and 2 betas and 2 3 and 2 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. If you have 1 and 2, it's 1 and 2. And 2 might be trying to take 1 all the time. Where are you going to see alpha at its best is at the food bowl. Always at the food bowl. So I would suggest that you split food bowls, and you have done that. And then once they eat, then that's the case. You can also, when the other cat is present, make sure that both of them are getting treats, both of them are getting pets. They get pet, they get treats, they get loving. You're playing with both of them. What we tend to do is we yell at the cat that's behavior is bad, and that does nothing. It does nothing for these cats. They're like la 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 la.
We're trying to spray water in their face.
Spraying water in their face, and yes, and that's kind of. But has it worked?
No.
Okay, it doesn't work. So the only time we use water bottles is if we have a door where we don't want them coming out and running around like in this big area, and we'll just spray to keep them back. Spraying water on a cat is not a punishment. Almost nothing is a punishment to a cat that will work except making it mean, other than ignoring it. It's the worst punishment you can give a cat, especially a kitten. If they have bad behavior, you go, ow, and walk away, because that's what another cat's going to do. They're going to go, oh, and the other cat's going to go, what did I do? And they're going to stop play. I don't want to play with you anymore. That hurt. And they could get in a fight and stuff like that, but hitting your cat, yelling at your cat, all those things do not work. They do not work. So you need to keep them separated at mealtime. What I would do is literally separate them at mealtime. Put them in 2 totally different rooms and give them cool down time. Because it sounds like it's sometime around the time that they're being fed. And that's just something I would try. And then after that, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't have all the answers, truthfully. I really don't. But if they're not hurting each other, typically when you say cats are getting in the fight, sometimes they're way louder than anything. And so what I would say to you is, if you're getting involved in that, it's escalating it. So say nothing, do nothing, as long as nobody's getting hurt, really. I'd move those food bowls, but don't get involved. The more we get involved, that's a third cat coming in, and now they have another person to contend with. And so it just escalates things. Okay? So, thank you. What was your name?
Jaylen, she licked me right here.
She licked you. Nice, thank you for coming up. So the question is, the statement was that she takes her cat, Moxie, all over the place in this cat backpack, and the cat does fine. It goes to Starbucks and everything goes fine. But going to the vet, it freaks out and it salivates and it's super, super stressed out. We have to always put ourselves in the place of the cat. So you have this tiny little animal and it's smelling all these dogs, all these other scents, all these things that are not at Starbucks.
Right.
Or maybe over here, wherever you're taking them, over to mom's house or whatever.
Right.
It's now, they know that they are predator and prey. They know they are vulnerable. They're designed that way. So it is a scary thing to go to the vet. The other thing is they have memories. So the last time that they were at the vet, they got a pop in the butt, you know. Now they are so good at smelling and associating. So did you ever see your cat take a good whiff and then open its mouth? Where they just go like that. Okay, there's an organ in the top of the roof of their mouth. It's called the flamen organ. Flamen. It's a gentleman's last name was Dr. Flamen, and he noticed that the cats would do that, and he did some research, and he realized that when a cat comes across a new scent, they'll do that, and they'll take that scent into their mouth, and that organ goes straight to their brain, and that is logging that scent in. So the first time they go to the vet's clinic, and they smell all these dogs and all these cats and all of this, and they log that scent into their brain, they're logging a memory as well. And those memories are not usually all that great at the vets. You know, I mean, who takes their pet to the vet and they come out going, I want to go right back in there and get another shot, or poked and prodded, and you know, so that's what a lot of times I think that's what that's about. So the question was, is there anything I can do about that? The answer is yes. There are lots of products now out on the market for calming pets down. One of them is called Feel Away. And so you take your towel that's going in your carrier, and they have spray. It's F-E-L-I-W-A-Y. You take that spray, it's kind of expensive, but you take that spray and you do shoot, shoot, and you put it in the carrier. You put the cat in the carrier, and by the time you're at the vet, it is a pheromone that is a calming pheromone to the cat. Everybody that brings their animal for spay-neuter for cats, because it's a cat feel-away, feline, it's for cats, you should be doing that, because then that makes it much nicer for the cat. It is calming them down. You can plug those into your home where your cats are, and as long as you have one plugged into your home, you may see some results there too with that product. There's one more thing that comes to mind, and I'm sure there are more, but what comes to mind, you can go to GNC, and there's a little amber bottle, and it's called Rescue Remedy. And it's in an amber bottle because when you have an amber bottle, it means that the product inside cannot be in the light, or it loses its efficacy, it loses its strength. So basically, this little rescue remedy is for people. So if you have anxiety, you can go get this product. The reason we can use so many things on cats that we use on people, they get Z-Paks, we get Z-Paks, amoxiclav, clavamox, you name it, we use a lot of the same products on the cats that we use on ourselves. It's because cats' physiology, the way that their body processes things, is second closest to humans. It's human, monkey, cat. Dog is way down here. Dog's physiology isn't even close to ours, but the cat's is. So we take this rescue remedy, and it is in a dropper. So you take the dropper and you drop a couple of drops in the water, and that's the cat's water for a day or two before it goes to the vet. And it's enough to get that calming sense in there. It's chamomile, eucalyptus, and so on. And we can do that. We can drop that on our pillow at night and relax. And so I love that stuff. Yeah. We have to realize that little cats are God's way of allowing us to pet the big cats that we would have wanted to pet if they didn't create the little cats. So look at the behavior of a big cat pack and how they behave. You have constant change out to keep the herd, the pride healthy and that kind of thing. But when we ask a pride of cats, or it's actually called a clouder, it's actually called a clouder of cats. When we have our clouder of cats in the house and they don't have enough space to create a territory, there's always going to be fighting for it. It's the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. The 1, the 2, the 3. Who's going to take the next ladder up? Who's going to take more territory so they're comfortable? So we have to be cognizant of the fact of how much space we have to offer the cats if they're going to be indoor only, and whether we can provide them with time outside safely or an outdoor environment. We live in Medina County, folks. It is not unacceptable for people in this county to have outdoor cats in the right environment. I mean, we just have people in barns everywhere. They have outdoor cats. They live 18 years, right, Debbie?
That's right.
Do you have cats that live 18 years?
I have a cat now. It's an inside-out cat, outside cat all her life, and she's 18 years old.
Yeah, and they do quite fine. I was raised on a farm. We never spayed and neutered in those days. We're talking the 60s and the 70s. Just gave my age away. Nobody spayed and neutered. All of our cats lived 18 years, okay? I'm not one of those people that gets all crazy about they have to be indoor only. We live in a world, in this rural community, where they go outside. And so if you can offer them some outside time, it does kind of, they're able to get a little bit of that out if they can go outside. There are places that people live that they shouldn't be outside. There's just parking lots and you know, things like that, and they should not be outside. Or you have neighbors that are not cat-friendly neighbors who might do something to them or whatever. You have to weigh that for yourself and try to, or you can get a harness that a cat wears. You put that harness on them in the house and you let them wear that harness for a couple weeks. Like, get them used to the harness. Then you put the leash on the harness and you get them used to that around the house. Now you can go and take them for walks outside safely. And that, you know, cats are very curious animals and they need fresh air and sunshine. They're created to get some of their nutrients from the sun, just like us. Oh, I love my Tina. All right, we got to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of our live show here at the Medina County Home and Garden Show for 2019. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.